What is up, geeks and geekettes? It's a very special edition of the Countdown to the Geeks. My name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me on this episode 1 of Alien Earth Review, the one, the only, Facehugger Dave.
What's up, guys? I'm ready to talk some alien Earth.
And this is going to start out as a non spoiler review. We may talk about a few things towards the end of this video, but I promise you, we are not going to reveal any major details or plot points starting out. So you don't have to go anywhere. We were lucky enough to catch pretty much the first showing of Alien Earth. We were at San Diego Comic Con and we attended the world premiere of Alien Earth with writer and director and all around genius Noah Hawley and a few of the cast members from the series. It was a great time. Noah came out and he had the right energy in the Hall H stage. He addressed the crowd, got them all hype, and said, "We'll be back right after this." And they played the first episode of Alien Earth. And before we start talking about the episode, let's talk about that experience because I would want to guess that I have never seen a full episode of anything at Hall H. And then lo and behold, this year saw two different premieres. One was Alien Earth, and the other one was Star Trek. I'm not gonna remember right now.
Strange
It
New
was
Worlds.
Strange New Worlds. Yeah, they showed. I don't think it was the first episode. I heard it was episode 4. Whatever it was like this really unique episode. Either way, let's kind of talk about the experience. You saw Alien Earth in Hall H, massive sound system. I know you were in a very you're very close to the front, so you had a very weird angle. But all in all, like, do you do you appreciate going through that experience, seeing a world premiere in that venue?
Hell yeah, that's like watching the Super Bowl from the 50-yard line on the sideline, I
Yeah,
mean, it's a different type of view, but you are as close as humanly possible without actually being on the show, being affiliated to the series or movie. But before Noah Hawley poked his head out at the top of the Hall H stage, I was the only one in the press cage that noticed him. And I said, "Hey, Noah, can I take a selfie with you?" And he looked at me and he was like, I guess. I guess no one asked him for selfies. So it felt like he was kind of like shocked and kind of like delighted. So I took the selfie with him and I posted that on my social media and it was great. I know you said he was a genius, and yes, he's responsible for some of the greatest shows of all time, really, in modern day. Fargo, Legion. Um, you could just tell he's a great talent, and we're so lucky to have him be the captain of this alien Earth ship. I am so happy. Um, Being there in Hall H again. Thank you again, Ted, for dragging me out of the hellacious weather in South Texas and going to the perfect weather, 72 degrees all the time with San Diego. It was nuts. As you can tell by my voice, I got some con crud. So yeah, you'll be hearing a little bit of sexy voice, but um, it was great. It was an experience, like you said. He came out. No, Holly's so even keel, and he's so
he's
like,
so cool.
yeah, it's like he knows. He's like one of those guys that like knows the future's gonna be good no matter what. It's like he's seen the future and he's just living through it, and he's just like it's it's interesting. Same thing with kind of Dan Trachtenberg too. It doesn't look. I mean, he's kind of cut from the whole podcasting cloth. He used to be a podcaster, and once he got done with that, he shot a Portal short, which you can see online, that got the attention of a lot of people. And then he did Prey, and he did Cloverfield Lane. In reverse order, and then he did Killer of Killers, which was great. He had to do that, and now he's got Badlands, and we saw the first 20 minutes of that. That looked great. So
Mm,
the whole universe of Alien Predator, it looks like they are back, and it looks like they're in great hands, man. And the other thing too is last year with Fede Alvarez directing Alien Romulus,
yeah.
he referred to Dan Trachtenberg and A Glowing Light, and so did Noah Hawley. And there was one question that was asked in Hall H to Noah Hawley: is there going to be some type of Alien Predator, Alien versus Predator thing in the future? Noah Hawley basically referenced Dan Trachtenberg again. He's like, I'm not privy to that, but I love the fact that I love what Dan is doing and in regards to Predator. So you never know. Alien Earth is about just more than the xenomorph, more than the facehugger. So um, we shall see.
Fans are eating good. That's bottom line.
And it's
Like
just started.
no matter what happens after this, like we are on a solid foundation because of this first episode of Alien Earth, because of the trailer for Predator Badlands. We already understand there's a bit of a crossover there as well. If you've seen the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. Wait, if you've seen the trailer, there's more than one reference to the Alien franchise. There are numerous references, and so it is just a matter of time. It feels like they're playing the long game, but it's only going to come to fruition if you effing show up to these movies. If these movies don't make any money, you're not going to get anything later on down the road. And why do you want something to happen down the road? Because it's all high quality stuff, man. Like special effects are fantastic. These stories are refreshing and they're unique. They're bringing in, solid name actors into these franchises, and they have solid creative teams behind them. Noah Hawley he's a bona fide genius. After you watching this first episode, we're gonna finally talk about it right now. I would give anything for Noah to join, like to make a DC movie of his own. It would have to be dark, probably. It'd have to be gritty. Yo, you like that idea, don't you?
Well, I was going to say something that I learned
Oh,
yesterday. I learned that back before this is wild.
mm.
It's going to sound crazy. Back before Disney bought Lucasfilm, Marvel was tapping Noah Hawley to do a Doctor Doom film
Dude.
that just came out.
I mean, they were going to the right guy.
Yeah.
They were going to the right guy, and I am glad though that he's getting this out of his system just from the stuff. And you can go through our timeline on social media and go to our Noah Hawley clips, hearing him talk so eloquently about the franchise and honoring the past, but also where he's clearly bringing fresh new ideas to this universe, and I'm very excited for what he's doing. And it's incredible what we saw. And let's go ahead and talk about it now. So finally, no spoilers, right? No spoilers just quite yet. But here we go. Our review of the first episode of Alien Earth. And I'm gonna go ahead and start out by talking about everything that we are privy to, all the common knowledge of the Alien franchise. The ships are so detailed. The sets they built, they all look practical. By the way, if they're not, it's incredible. But the massive practical
They
sets
are
they build
practical.
of these ships, the same ship that Ridley was on, that cargo transport. They have one starting off in this episode. They've talked about it. It's in the trailer, and we know that the cargo might be very unique. If you're looking around our background here, this is pretty much one of the main posters. So let's just say the cargo is a very unique, or has a very unique set of cargo on this transport. It's pretty wild. Look at you. Man, I don't know you got that. You got that at Comic Con?
Yeah, I showed it to you, Ted. Once I did the Alien Earth, Red Alert. Was it Red Alert experience?
Sure.
It
I
was
have
a little
that
bit.
somewhere.
We did the Alien Earth experience at South by Southwest. Terrific,
Hmm.
tons of swag, nice huge big pin. I got it around here somewhere. And then when you finish this experience, you actually got the Maginot. I hope I'm saying it right. The name
I
of the
think you're right.
freighter
Yeah.
that kind of mirrors the Nostromo from the first Alien film, and it has, like you said, they made practical sets. You do see kind of a callback to the all white paneling with all the flashing lights, like the mother room when whatever crew member's talking to mother.
Yeah.
You see that in the trailer. That's fantastic. And I mean, people that see that are like, "Oh my gosh, they're doing like in your face fan service and on the nose stuff." It's not. That's the beauty of what we're getting, it seems like. There's that fine balance that Noah Hawley type ropes, and it's fantastic. You do not have to be worried, at least for the first episode. And I think the remaining episodes, because media got to see the full series, and the best review I saw, they were all great. The best review I saw was, "This is Andor for Alien fans." Noah Hawley is essentially the Tony Gilroy of the Alien franchise.
I
They
love that.
did it. It's great. Yeah,
It's a
it's
great
gonna be one
comparison.
of the best series this year, maybe the best. Who knows?
If I mean, it's going to be in the running for one of the best series ever. For sure, this is one of the best pilot episodes of any show that I've seen. Just because it does so much with almost seemingly very little happening. I think the majority of this episode is a lot of set up to understanding what's going on in this universe, in this world. I won't get into sort of the overall plot. There's a real quick like early frame that kind of tells you, it sets up the scenario of what we're dealing with here. I'll talk about that later. But this first episode raises so many great questions. That's what it does more than anything else. It asks so many questions on what's happening, why is it happening, who's involved, who are these people, what else is gonna can we find on. Ugh, it's all that stuff. It does such a great job of setting up a very fascinating plot, which most of the time, not even dogging it, most alien movies, most sequels and all that and all these spin-offs are just survival movies. That's all they are, right? Survival movies. We're on a ship, we crash, monster, run, that kind of thing. This, you're getting sort of your fill of what an alien movie should be, but there's so much more going on in the background. Um and that's fascinating to me. So it sets up a lot. The scope of what they gave us in the first episode, massive. Like, this is cinema quality level stuff that we're getting in this first episode. If there's a budget for for the series, it's all
It's massive,
spent.
baby.
It's all spent in that first episode.
They shot the whole thing in Thailand.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And
I wouldn't doubt it.
I really got to say this because when I heard Alien Earth, I knew the fans were going to groan and the fans were going to be like, "Oh man, they're just trying to cash out on the Alien franchise even more, just bringing an Alien Earth." It's really not about that. It's really more. There's more to it than just the alien coming to Earth. It's about greed. It's about capitalism. It's about um, artificial intelligence. It's about um, the big questions and the big future that's upon our reality's horizon, and how is it going to be possible to take and remove consciousness from people. It addressed that, which is super fascinating.
Yeah.
Um, and the cast, I mean, the cast is it's pitch perfect. When you look at these people, it's like, yeah, they really fit like the character that they're playing. And yeah, the the sets are just terrific. And it has the alien DNA that you want. It takes place 2 years before the original Alien.
Correct.
So we're getting there, and they are really kind of going like knee deep into um, kind of the geopolitics in a way, um, how the Earth actually is, what state it's in. We see a trillionaire owner of Prodigy, which is another company that we never knew about, that is basically going head to head with Weyland Yutani. So when the Maginot um, comes into play, it's Weyland Yutani, and of course, this other company, Prodigy, wants to take advantage of the situation that occurs.
Yeah.
And I mean, it plays like reality TV almost in a way, what we have in our own reality here on present day Earth. So very interesting. The cast is phenomenal. Um, the sound you mentioned in Hall H, booming bass, it shook all of us, man.
Oh yeah.
And it's great, man. Subtlety, it's got everything. Settled. I don't remember much of the score. The pacing was perfect, I thought. The character representation, the archetypes, the way in was the most important part. Like I mentioned, the fans were getting groan. Okay, you put an alien on Earth. Okay, so much more than that. The way in, there's a whole um, mythology that they talk about and interweave, and there's so many Easter eggs about that certain mythology interwoven into this first episode, from the names to the actions to um, references. Um, and it's a popular book that they reference.
Hmm.
And it's been done a few times, but it's been a while since they've done it, so it still feels fresh. So I didn't have an issue with that. But overall, yeah, terrific first episode. Hall H loved it. It got a applause. Did it get a standing ovation?
I think it did.
Okay.
I think it did.
Yeah, I was in the press cage standing already, so
Yeah, standing ovation from Hall H. I just remember when the credits started rolling, just the thunderous roar of satisfaction. Like I think nobody anticipated how well and how much effort was going to be put into that first episode. Listen, I've said this before. There's like other franchises that they try to do like a TV series within the universe of that franchise, and they're so because the budgets are so little compared to their movie counterparts. There's like so there's like not enough of this or not enough of this component or that component that gets put into it. It's still a good show, but Monarch was a lot like that. Monarch was like, "Hey, we're doing a show within the Godzilla universe. By the way, you're only going to see Godzilla for like 5 minutes throughout the entire season." Not the worst thing because the cast is great, the story is compelling and stuff, but you kinda deal with that and you understand, like, okay, well, it's not about Godzilla, it's about somebody else. Alien Earth, no, you're getting the full alien experience. Oh, by the way, but there's this whole new component that they're introducing to the alien universe, and we'll talk about the details here in a few minutes. But I'm most excited about the new stuff they're introducing. There's technologies that are being used by other entities besides Weyland Yutani, and like the technology that's being introduced, there's so much that can be done with that stuff. there's so many storylines and there's so many ways you can sort of change the future of the franchise knowing those kinds of things and seeing how they get incorporated or how they maybe um answer or they explain future things that occur. I'm trying to be very vague here. All that to say, they're doing stuff, they're introducing things that can have major ramifications in the alien universe. And that to me is exciting. Also, you're going to get a lot of xenomorph, not just in like maybe this episode or not, but like you watch the trailer for the whole season, you see a lot of xenomorph. And so like you're going to get that full alien experience. I think they're checking all the boxes, but they're doing it in a smart and creative way. And that's what I really like. Um solid solid foundation for the rest of the franchise. And we haven't even talked about it. You want gore? There's some gore there. There's, it's tasteful, nothing too crazy. You want the horror sort of element incorporated because you like that side of Alien, the franchise, like the scary side of it. There's that too. And this time around, it's not just the face huggers and the Xenos that you need to be afraid of. Like, if you're looking around here, all these creepy crawlies and stuff, they can do damage just as well. And so I'm sure throughout the season, we're going to see a lot of different dangerous creatures that come into contact with our cast and stuff. So yeah, they're doing all the things that we want them to do, and they're giving us so much more by incorporating all these new elements. It's the technologies that we haven't seen before. It's the creatures we haven't seen before, and just this plot that they introduce. Won't talk about it right now, but now it's interesting. You talked about the activations you've visited. All of that was intentional. All of that was very intentional. And I was not thinking about that to begin with whenever we were visiting, especially the South by Southwest activation back in March. I thought it was fun, thought it was interesting and cool, but nowhere in my mind did I think, you know what, this is probably going to come back in the series. And lo and behold, it's pretty much the main plot point for everything. All right. Anything else before we start getting into our kind of spoilerish, somewhat spoilerish, right? It's only the first episode, so we can't spoil too much. Oh, but you also were talking about not really remembering the score. S- Nothing but alien callbacks. I remember the trumpets. They use the trumpets from time to time. They
Mm-hmm.
did that like 3 or 4 times
Mm-hmm.
in that first episode, and so yeah, it's a lot of that, a lot of callbacks to the original.
Yeah. You get to see some pulse rifles, um, very, very quickly. And of course, I think one of the key dynamics for an alien project, TV, film are the synthetics. The synthetics always play a key role, and we get a really nice um, inlet into synthetics in this show right off the bat in the first episode, and it's terrific, and it's pretty much what everything kind of hinges on in a way is technology, and we're right on the edge of and cusp of AI maybe taking another huge jump here pretty soon. Um, and they really talk about that, and it's going to be interesting to see the future in the year 2120, how we've progressed, if we're still here, who knows. um, we won't be here, but I guess our kids maybe our kids. I would like to see how we advance. Technology would be insane. I think at that point, yeah, there would be synthetics. So I think it's right in line. It's not like how they filmed Blade Runner in what, 82 or whatever, and it was for the year 2017 or 2019. And then you get there and it's like pyramids and stuff in Los Angeles and flying cars. And 2019 came and we're like, wait a minute, it still looks the same.
That
There's
one, Back to the Future, like, we didn't really do anything that Back to the
Yeah.
Future was.
And then they pushed it out to 2049. And it's like, man, we're getting pretty close to 2049.
Yeah, man. Cool. This is gonna be where we stop the non-spoiler portion of this video, and we're going to talk about some details in the first episode. We can't spoil the rest of the season. We haven't watched it. We'll just talk about some details that we really liked in this first episode. We'll try to stay away from some major spoilers, character deaths or whatever, but just there's not a whole lot we can spoil because it's only the first episode and it's a lot of setup, but it's all very good. So if you don't want to be spoiled about anything, right now is where you should go ahead and stop the video and then come back after you watch the first episode on August 12th on FX or Hulu. All right, here we go. Action. So, this whole situation that they are presenting to us is a world where the biggest conglomerate companies are pretty much all fighting for supremacy. And is it supremacy? I love that. Is it supremacy of money and stocks? Probably not. It's a race towards planet control as well as the most advanced technologies. So we learn that Wayland Utani, they're doing what Wayland Utani does. They introduce us to this crew that's on this transport ship. And is it filled with resources or minerals? No, it's filled with specimens. They went out and hunted and collected specimens from distant planets and all of these dangerous creatures. And we know they're dangerous because they talk about how many lives were lost obtaining them. They're all just packed on this ship. But going back to the conglomerate sort of battle for supremacy, the other one that we hear mostly about is Prodigy. And it's like David said, not a company that we're privy to, but Prodigy has made major advancements in the transference of consciousness from humans to synthetics. The synthetics of the past that we've been introduced to have all been artificial intelligence. These are not. These are the minds and the consciousness of humans put into a synthetic body that does not age, does not grow, but they are not immortal by any means. They can still perish, and they also still have a heightened level of strength and agility. So they're faster, they jump higher, they're more strong than any other human can possibly be on the planet. And so that's fascinating. And that's the one thing to me that's like really fascinating is that this company has been able to transfer consciousness into synthetics. And whenever we meet Waylon, he's always like dying from something, right? Like Waylon's always got some sort of like terminal disease, and he's always got this terminal wondering if later down the road this is going to be something that they try and use to like prolongate Waylon or a member of the company, or a character that we have been introduced to later down the road that we find out at some point was transferred into a synthetic, but like maybe they're not even aware. You really don't know, but the possibilities are now out there. What you can do with that information and what you can do with that subplot is just wild. What are your thoughts about learning about the hybrids, as they call them?
Um, that's the creative way into the show. And it's a question I think humanity has had in the past 50 years or so. Can you take consciousness and move it from your body to something else? Um, Scientists still don't know where consciousness resides in you. Some people have ideas, but we've seen a lot of science fiction talking about and showing us moving consciousness. Black Mirror did an episode, which is one of the more famous episodes,
Yeah.
um, and it's so interesting and tantalizing, and it's one of the questions that humanity has that really makes you dream and wonder. It's like, if your body goes bad, can you still survive? And in Alien Earth, the answer is yes. And in Alien Earth, what they're doing is they're taking terminally ill children's consciousness and transferring them to adult bodied synthetics. And I think it's all prepubescent kids. So they're all children in adult bodies. And so the challenge is, and they call this group of synthetics the Lost Boys.
Hmm.
So the challenge is for the actors, they have to act like kids in adult bodies. And the main star, Sydney Chandler, she plays Wendy. She does a fantastic job of doing that. There are some comedic moments when she first gets her new body. Um, and the fact that they are kids allows for a little bit of comedic relief in an otherwise horror filled TV show. And of course, it's Alien. There's not a lot of comedy and a lot of humor in Alien typically, but it allows for it. And you kind of have to have it because it's a long TV show. I believe it's 7 or 8 episodes long. Um, but yeah, it's just a fantastic way into this series, and it addresses those questions. What happens? Um, Morrow, who is the synthetic on the Maginot on the Weyland Yutani ship, he has like different types. He has like a Swiss Army knife for
In
a
his arm.
hand,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't think we've seen that before. Um, Maybe in the comics, but I was thinking, is the whole guy a synthetic, or is just maybe his appendages? I don't know. I think he is a full on full blown synthetic.
I think so too, because the other crew members are clearly prejudiced against him. And one of the older guys, who's like a mechanic on the ship,
Hmm.
he says it straight to his face, synthetic, or whatever they call them,
Right,
uh, whatever slurs they have for synthetics.
right.
So yeah, no, they're. Feel like you're right. Clearly, full on synthetic.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If you
Yeah,
go onto the internet and look at the character bios, you see Wendy, she's labeled as a synthetic. Um,
hybrid. Yeah.
Kirsch, played by Timothy Oliphant. I don't think they told us did they tell us in episode 1 he was a synthetic?
So I luckily saw it twice,
Okay.
and the second time I was really focused on all the dialogue because pros and cons about Hall H
Yeah.
is the pros are the energy is higher than you will ever be in another auditorium watching that episode.
Right.
So like if something is kind of funny, everybody's laughing. If something is kind of scary, everybody's freaking out. And you want to be in that type of environment where like everyone is just like hyper fixated on everything that's happening. It's a lot of fun. But the second time I watched it, which probably was more of an alien type crowd, like older kind of crowd, my
Nice.
age and up, yeah. Mostly even kill, like really like nobody was laughing all that much. You do hear a little bit of freakouts during some scenes with creatures, but to get to what you were talking about, the very end of the episode, Kirsch is talking to Wendy, and he's actually talking to her as a synthetic. He's referring to the human race. He's referring to humanity as if he is not part of it. So yes, Kirsch is definitely some form of a synthetic.
The way you said that, it brought to mind when the two AI bots were talking to each other, and then they're like, "Let's not talk in English anymore. It's It'll be more efficient if we speak in our own synthetic language.
which is a true story, folks.
Yeah, and then
It's a
there's,
true
like,
story.
just beeps and boops. It was almost like really fast Morse code, and then when that happened, they started speaking in a different language the human supervisors couldn't understand. They just pulled the plug. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, Kirsch definitely synthetic. So one of my questions is actually it kind of involves Kirsch, and I like that this first episode raises so many questions. Are all synthetics from the same place? Like, are they all like Jordans, like a pair of Jordans? Like they all come from one company, or does everybody have their own form of synthetics? Well, they must, right? Because Prodigy has these hybrids, and so it's Kirsch part of a Wayland synthetic, Prodigy synthetic. There's like
Right.
other companies that haven't been introduced yet. There's like 3 to 4 companies that are like all um trying to be the top dogs on the planet
Right.
and conquer and control other planets. They talk about that. There's some companies that like run entire planets out there, and so that is wild. But I want to know Kirsch, who's he from? Because as we find out, synthetics have their own hidden agendas, and this episode revolves around the what feels like intentional crashing of a Weyland Yutani freighter ship carrying possibly hundreds of dangerous creatures, and just so happens to crash into the main headquarters almost of Prodigy. So the crash feels intentional to me. Does it feel intentional to you?
Yes, in the vein of alien tradition here, with the first Alien film, of course, we had Ian Holm, playing a synthetic, and he was basically the, I guess, the antagonist of the whole thing. He's working for the corporation. He had an agenda. He wanted to keep that alien species intact and bring it back for to be weaponized or whatever experimentation they want to do on it. And it feels like Morrow also had an agenda, and he uses future Swiss Army knife hand to do what he could, and he was very like precise and calculating, and it's almost like he knew how much time he had before the xenomorph was going to break into the quarters where we see the old alien aesthetic with the white walls and the flashing lights. And he kind of hides from it and almost kamikazes right into the prodigy territory on Earth. Was that part of the plan? I mean, I don't know. It almost feels like it when you think it through that they were meaning to crash land there. Maybe Wayland Utani or Utani was trying to set up Prodigy with the species that they brought back. They brought back more than the classic alien xenomorph species, and that actually adds to the excitement of the show. We're going to learn about more aliens, and they're going to have horrifying consequences for the people that encounter them, which is super exciting because
Yes.
we might, from all accounts, there's at least one new alien that's going to be a fan favorite. Um, I've seen another one that looks like an octopus, but it's like an eyeball with a bunch of corneas around it, and it spins, and it's got tentacles, and it's like, oh my god.
I don't even want to
Um,
know what that thing does.
and in the first episode, we see these centipedes that, if you have that phobia, I mean, it's going to be heightened. You're going to be triggered.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely for sure.
so
And
it's
you know what?
exciting, man.
You know what would be good writing? This is just me putting on my writer's cap, and I
Mhm.
would not, by any means, put this past Noah Hawley and the creative team. Morrow definitely feels like he's set up this ship to crash.
Right.
Um, Hidden agenda, for whatever reason, he's got some sort of primary function or primary objective that no one else is privy to. No one on the crew knows about this. Probably no one at Wayland Utani knows about this. It's just coming from whoever runs the company, or maybe just Mother, whatever Mother is. Is Mother's like an AI? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think Mother is more of a programmed AI that doesn't have like a consciousness. It's just like whoever wrote the programming for Mother, that's the real kind of puppet master.
Okay, so great. Right now, it's good writing, and it's probably going to stay good writing throughout the season. Great writing would be if we find out Morrow had nothing to do with the crashing of the ship. If he does what he does in order to try and salvage the ship and its contents because there was no other way, meaning like somebody else messed up, whether it was intentional or not. We know that these face huggers can get out and get around and spawn Xenos on the fly all the time. That's what they do. So if we find out that Moro had nothing to do with any creatures getting loose, but in his head he's like, the only way to salvage this situation is by me surviving and conducting thorough whatever afterwards. Now, there's a lot in this first episode that goes against that grain. So it's a stretch, but I feel like if there's a way to do it, that would be a fantastic plot twist. Because he seems like he's got blood on his hands, and he kind of does already. But synthetics only deal with logic most of the time, and perhaps in his calculations there was no saving anybody on that craft other than him preserving himself to minimize any damage outside of that ship and in that city, because that is a major metro, that is a major metropolitan area that this spaceship crashes into. Already mass casualties, but the level of impact, the level that a xenomorph or multiple xenomorphs, because I think there's more than one, can have an impact on a naive planet who has no idea of their existence, could just decimate the entire population at some point if you do not get a handle on it quickly, which we've never really seen. We have never seen what a xenomorph could do on an unprepared civilization, right? I'm right about that?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's always been confined on a spaceship, confined in a ancient pyramid, what have you. And so, yeah, it could be catastrophic if multiple xenomorphs, potentially a queen, if one came along, were to get loose and go unchecked. And so, yeah, if Moro can somehow be redeemed by the end of this first season, that would be incredible if they found a way to make that happen. And I would just applaud them, um, just like crazy.
Ah, man, it's so I'm trying to go back and remember Morrow's actions. Um, it just feels like to me his directive was to get the aliens back to Earth by any means possible. Um, your idea is interesting, but I think it it was with purpose to crash land it at that specific spot. Um, so I don't know. I don't think it's anything other than kind of what we saw. They're so logical and analytical that I think it was purposeful what they did. And I know
You know,
Utani plays a big part
yeah.
in this show, possibly she is behind a lot of this. She's the head of Wayland Utani, and
Well, Waylon's gotta be there too, right? Or no, he's already kicked the bucket by this point, maybe?
technically, I mean, no. I mean, if you look, well, unless he's a surprise character, I mean, I don't think he's gonna be there. He could be there. I mean, we've seen a lot of Wayland. He's had his time in the sun, but now it seems like Utani is, which is interesting. I never thought about like doing a thing with Utani. Um, and they were like a big merger. Wayland was one company, Utani was another. Then they merged.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I like that aspect too. And I mean, being just like a fan, you think about what could they do next, and I never thought about that aspect of the whole um, merging of the two corporations and having the head of Utani play a factor into this. But I mean, there's a lot of real estate. There's a lot of story that's still left to be told, and I just love the way in that they have. Brand new aliens that are going to have surprising and shocking and horrific life cycles. Apparently, um, I don't know if there's more than one xenomorph.
I
You
feel
would
like
think.
I feel like because after the ship crashes, the search
Mhm.
and rescue team is, going around the the cryo tubes, not cryo tubes. Is it cryo tubes?
Yes, yeah, like the cryo chambers. Yeah, somebody did point it out that
There's
it
there's
looked
at
like there
least
was
there's at
maybe a
least
chest burster in
there's
one
at
of them.
least 2 bodies that have what
Okay.
looks like chest burst,
Yeah.
cavities.
Right.
So, I at least
Okay, that
2, but
makes
there
sense
there
then.
may
Yeah,
be
then
more.
okay.
We only see 1, face hugger that perished, mostly due to the fact that it probably already, um, obtained a host. So, we only saw 1 face hugger, but I feel like we saw 2 different bodies with cavities, and they kept saying like, "Oh, what does that?" "Well, we all know what does that."
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the whole aspect between Wendy and her brother, of course, Wendy is the synthetic hybrid whose consciousness was removed from the 12-year-old terminally ill girl and put into a adult female body, and then she sees her brother, her biological brother, who was actually an actor from Andor,
Mm.
and his name is Hermit on the show. Um, he's a tactical officer and a medic, and she sees him on the TV, and then she's like, "I need to go help him, save him," and she convinces the trillionaire owner of Prodigy, who has a kind of a weird name, Boy Cavalier. It's almost like on the nose there. Um, but yeah, I mean, she convinces them to put them up to the task to maybe recover what's on the Wayland Yutani ship and take another group of synthetic hybrids that they are referred to as the Lost Boys. So there's a lot of Peter Pan referencing in here. The book Peter Pan, I think, was shown and was read to someone. And there are a few characters.
You're
Of
right.
course, the main character Wendy,
Mhm.
that was a character in Peter Pan. Also, Smee, which is also a member of the Lost Boys. Um, and I think that's was Toodles one of them?
There's
Is there's a
Toodles,
person?
you are correct, there's a
Okay.
Toodles,
Yep.
there is Smee,
Yeah.
um, that might be it.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of referencing, and of course, when the transference of subconscious from the little girl to the adult synthetic hybrid, they were holding hands, and that was supposed to also symbolize when they were flying in Peter Pan, they had to hold hands to go to Neverland, and of course, there's an island called Neverland in the show,
There is, yeah.
and we get to see Wendy's powers on full display, jumping from a high cliff, holding on to all like 4 kids. spreading her arms and just like waving them around. It's like, oh my god, she's uh she's very strong, um, as you would figure, and just the whole dynamic. And of course, you get around the fact that the face hugger can't do anything with these synthetics. So
That they shouldn't, right?
right,
They
right,
should not,
and
and we've
that's
not.
brilliant. I think that's brilliant because these characters are kind of immune to it,
Yeah.
and it's almost like a fair fight because they both have almost the same strength level. But
Mm.
they're children though. They're minds of children. It's just a brilliant concept, a brilliant way in. I'm uh, I'm really happy with the ideas that they're posing and the whole setup to the whole thing. It's just fantastic.
You mentioned, earlier about, Boy Cavalier, and that actually triggered a memory of mine. Morrow, when the ship crashes, he he locks up 2 of the search and rescue members
Yes.
and asks one of them, "Where is Cavalier?" And, yeah, I just remembered that right now. So, what's that about? Why are you asking for that guy?
That's his other
Right.
prime directive: crash the ship and kill Boy Cavalier.
Jesus. That's yeah, that is, I mean, if you want the straightforward theory, the straightforward theory is Weyland Yutani is trying to oust the competition, so they crash land a freighter ship filled with the most dangerous creatures in the universe, um, on this Neverland island where this boy genius kid and his company reside. I mean, that's a straightforward theory right there. Take out the competition by pretty much dropping an atom bomb filled with the worst creatures in the universe and go from there. That wouldn't put it past them. But they are setting that up, that all these companies are just fighting for supremacy basically on the planet. And so it's one way to, kind of definitely see it. Or maybe they want that technology. That's probably what Wayland's always after, a way to prolong his
Yeah.
life or the life of somebody.
In the show is basically asking the question, what is more terrifying? What is more horrific? The aliens or the humans that do and make the most horrific choices for humanity and their quest for power and dominance? And what's the more horrific? That's the question.
Yep. First episode, episode 1, absolute banger. We've talked about it. We haven't even really gotten to the specifics of it. You're gonna see deaths. You're gonna see characters killed off. So don't get too acquainted to everybody right away.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot more because right now we are facing a very dangerous situation. Um, and I'd say stay away from the trailers because they did show a trailer, to us, and the trailer will kind of reveal, maybe not the fate of some characters, but at least you'll know like who pops up from time to time, and that could, maybe answer too many questions from this first episode. So don't watch any more trailers if you don't want to be spoiled. You will be spoiled more by the trailer than you will from us. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, super exciting. I feel like we got everything we wanted out of this first episode. My favorite shot is just, the xenomorph head, um, like slowly walking back into frame, camera frame, and it feels like that head just goes on forever. And I'd almost want to say a xenomorph has never looked as good as the one that they had. We only saw sort of like a head shot of it, but it looked fantastic. It looked better than it's ever looked before. As good. Let's just say as good as it's ever looked before. And we know we're gonna get a lot more Xenomorph, the rest of the season. I will tell you that. So yeah, all very exciting. It was thrilling. Definitely the best experience to watch it in that Hall H room with that crowd. The energy was just at an 11 the entire episode, and we got to talk to the cast afterwards. All those clips you can now find on our social media channel. Noah Hawley, Timothy Oliphant, who was just praising the experience of being in that room during that episode. So much fun, such a great time, and fans are eating good. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Fans are eating good. Well, I'm gonna do a quick contest announcement. This is gonna be an Alien Earth prize pack. Yeah, I said it. We're gonna be giving away an Alien Earth prize pack.
Am I
Uh,
eligible?
winner winner will be announced next week, around the premiere episode. To enter, you must be a subscriber on this channel or this page, wherever you are watching currently. And one winner will be selected, and you're going to get an exclusive Alien Earth pin. You can't get this anywhere else. It's actually high quality pin. It's got some weight to it. This feels like almost like a half a pound,
Yeah,
maybe close to a pound.
I have one.
Alien Earth pin right here. Oh, and you're also gonna get a high quality Alien Earth poster. Look at that. Oh yeah. This is actually it's not like paper like most of the prints are that we get. This one's on like some cardstock. So it's got a little bit of thickness to it. So you will appreciate that. So the pin and the poster for Alien Earth. All you got to do is be sure to be a subscriber to this channel or this social media page that you're watching this on. And I need you to comment below the video your favorite Alien movie. Could be any of them. There's been what?
7?
There's been 7 of them? All right. I'll take your word for it. Is that including the Alien vs. Predator ones?
Yeah. Let's see. Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, um,
AVP
Alien
1 and 2,
AVP 1 and 2, Alien Requiem, Prometheus.
Prometheus,
I think that's 8.
Romulus.
Romulus. Okay, that's 9.
Wasn't the was those prequels? Wasn't there a trilogy? Or am I
Maybe if
dreaming
you
that?
remove the AVP, that's 7 because I know there's a 7-pack bundle you can buy on Apple right now.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well,
And I didn't
I
go
count them. They
down.
were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there you go. If you want to enter into the contest, be sure to be a subscriber. Comment on this video below your favorite movie out of the Aliens franchise. There's no wrong answer. We just need you to make a comment. That way you can enter into the contest. Winner will be announced next week around the Alien Earth premiere. We will announce it and reach out to you guys on our channel, and I think we'll be talking about every episode going forward. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's
So
what I wanna do too, man.
be back, come have a conversation with us. We will be doing some live streams, most likely after the episodes air, and so join the conversation. Talk about Alien Earth with us. We want to hear your thoughts, your theories, what you like, what you don't like, and let's just enjoy this ride together because it's such a great show. It's so good. It's such a
Yeah.
great first step in the right direction, and cannot wait for more. Dave, Facehugger Dave, anything else you'd like to say before we conclude?
Yes. So the premiere is this Wednesday and every Wednesday going forward. August 13th, there's going to be a 2-episode premiere, episodes 1 and 2. Then you'll get 3 on the 20th, 4 on the 27th, 5 on September 3rd, episode 6 on September 10th, episode 7 on September 17th, and all episodes September 24th.
Well, the first episode is 12th.
Well, it's listed on the Alien graphic here from the official page. August 13th. I don't know.
That
I
might be
guess.
old. That might be old. For
Okay.
sure. For sure it's the 12th because the poster that we just got, it has a 12th on it.
Okay. All right. Well, don't take my word for it then. I would
Well,
think it would be every Tuesday, right?
it it
Because Wednesday's kind of weird.
it is weird, yeah. It looks like the updated list on IMDb has it every Tuesday.
Okay.
And the finale is on my wife's birthday. I'm gonna miss that one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna miss-
Okay. Yeah, the graphic says every Wednesday, but the verbiage right above it says August 12th, 2025, FX and FX on Hulu, with the first two episodes released on the same day. So, okay, so every Tuesday.
every Tuesday and 2 episode premiere, which is fantastic. It makes you think that they only showed the fans, the public, the first episode intentionally because major ramifications in that second episode because they only showed the first one in Hall H, which is sort of like the most they could do anyways. But the sneak peek that they held on this week, which was on Wednesday, they did a sneak peek in select cities. This was hosted by Fandango or produced by Fandango, and only the first episode again. They could have done the first two if they wanted to, but they did not. So makes you think there's a lot going on in that second episode. First episode is titled Neverland. Second episode is actually titled Mr. October, which is a baseball reference.
The heck?
Yeah,
Reggie Jackson?
right? I mean, that's the first thing I think of. The first thing you think of, Mr.
Yeah,
October.
interesting.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Mr. October.
Episode 3 is called Metamorphosis. Episode 4, Observation, and that's it. We don't have any names of episodes after 4. So
Interesting.
I love the mystery
I
surrounding the
did
show.
hear a few people say episode 6 is their favorite episode.
You know what? You're right. That was talked about.
Yeah. So are there 8 episodes or are there 7
There's 8.
episodes? There's 8. Okay.
There is for sure 8. That'll do it, folks. We will see you guys next week for the giveaway, and then every week thereafter to talk about this incredible series, holding live stream so we can talk about it together as a community. If you are in the Dallas area, Frisco area, come by this weekend to see this guy and the Star Wars Stuff crew, as well as General Kenobi from our team at Rebel Scum Con up in the Frisco area. What location is it at? I know you know that information.
It is in Frisco. It's the hotel next to Dr. Pepper Field, right behind it, where the Rough Riders play. I believe I don't want to say the name because it might be the wrong name, but if you look up Dr. Pepper Field, you'll see the hotel right behind it. It's actually where my brother works for the Rough Riders. So,
Very nice.
and I've been there. It's really nice. It's a really nice part of town. Very modern, very new. So, yeah, check it
Re-
out.
Rebel Scum Con is a mostly Star Wars themed convention. The great Sam Witwer and Katie Sackhoff are going to be there, as well as a slew of other actors from movies and TV shows. So do not miss it if you're in the area. And also, our major convention in San Antonio, we are just over 2 months away now. SpaceCon SA, which is the last weekend in October. It is all going down in San Antonio, and I can't even sit here and talk to you about all the amazing guests that are going to be in attendance. Everyone from Brie Larson, Elizabeth Olsen, Christian Ritter, Giancarlo Esposito, Ian McDermott, Kate. What's her name? Oh my god! Oh my
Katie
god!
Sackhoff,
No, not Katie Sackhoff. Can't think right now.
Natasha Lou Bordizzo,
Natasha Luberdizzo is going to be there.
Lana Sakno,
Yes, yes, yes. I'm thinking of who was.
her,
I was thinking of
her,
from the
Timothy Swallow.
Hawkeye series.
Oh, Linda Cardellini.
No,
Oh, you're
Kate Bishop,
talking Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld. How can I forget Haley Steinfeld?
So many names.
That's just like 8 people from a list of 40.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel characters. So go check out the list. Check them out on social media, SpaceCon SA, and we will be there. We're gonna have a booth. We're gonna be doing giveaways, hosting some panels, and just having a blast with all you guys. We got a lot of surprises in store that are in the works right now, and so more to come from that. That'll do it from us, from the Kansas City Geeks. My name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me on this Alien Earth premiere episode review is the one, the only, Facehugger Dave.
If you look closely on the Razor Crest, there he is.
If this
He-
guy ever moves, I'm gonna freak out.
it's gonna jiggle.
If he ever fell, like while we are recording this, I'm
We have to
gone.
set it up.
I am gone. All right, folks. Have a good night. See you next time. Peace.